Hello and welcome to It's More Than Food. I hope you enjoy today's presentation. You're going to learn about how the things in our life affect our health and wellness pretty much more than food can. It is really important to make sure that you understand that it's not all about food. Although, yes, food can boost your energy. It can help you rock your mojo, and it is an integrated step that I take. I also believe that it is the stress of other factors in our life that really cause our mojo and our energy to completely decline. But there's also some great things in our life that can make our mojo and our energy climb, and it has nothing to do with food. So listen up and we'll go forward and learn more about how you can rock your mojo through other ways than foods and through your primary foods. So I am a health coach, and you may be wondering what all that means or what it is that I do. And so today, while you're watching this presentation, I really consider myself your health coach. And what I do is I primarily work with busy women. They're always moms. I work with moms that are just looking for ways to improve different avenues of their life. And it usually, yes, is tied to health and wellness. But usually what attracts them to me is the fact that they want to rock their mojo again. They aren't the person that they thought that they would be, and they also aren't the person that they used to be. Not that it's wrong for us to change, but they want to bring that back into their life. They want to have that energy back again. And so that's what I do, is I help them find their mojo, and we work through lots of different interactive ways to do that. And I absolutely love it. I just can't even express how much joy, basically it rocks my mojo, how much I love doing it. So you may be wondering to yourself, she keeps talking about mojo. What is mojo? Well, this is my definition of mojo. Basically, it's that energy that's inside of you. It's the one that just wants to burst right out. It drives you. It's what gets you up in the morning. It is what others would describe of you as your charm and your talent. Maybe it's even your sex appeal or your essence. That is what it is. It's what's in your soul. It's what you define yourself as you. That is what mojo is. And that's what we want to find, and that's what we want to rock. And here is the key. It takes more than food to rock it. Now, believe me, I'm a health coach. I understand that food is an important and an integral part to rocking your mojo, but it takes more than food to rock it. And so that's what we're going to discover today through this presentation. What you need to rock your mojo more, and it's beyond food. To get us started, sometimes we have to just look back. We need to reflect on when we once had mojo, especially if we're lost right now and there's just chaos amongst us. We have to just try to remember a time back when we used to rock our mojo. And so I'm just going to bring up a few times, at least for me, and so they may resonate with you. One of them was when I was a kid, you played, you ran, you had fun, you were dancing, you were singing. You just did what you enjoyed. Life was fun. That's when I had a lot of mojo. I think of times like in junior high, I was really into jazz band. I loved it. Music fed my mojo. It was definitely a part of me. And then I really got into volleyball. I played volleyball collegiately, and so it was my passion. It was something that really fed me and drove me to get up in the morning. I would get up and just go because it was just something that really fed my passion. Do you have a hobby like that? Do you have an activity? Or maybe you used to have one? What is it? Think about those times. Or for others, it's when they're surrounded by people, surrounded by friends and family that loved and supported you. You know, my parents were always engaged in all of my sisters and my activities, and being surrounded by them really fed it. I've always had a tendency to just kind of have one friend, although there were times where I had circles of friends too, but one really close friend. And I just think of the way that we interacted and the fun that we had. It was just amazing, and that really rocked my mojo too. They were able to pull out what we call our princess energy, something that we talk about in the Rock That Mojo program. Another time for me was definitely when I was in love. When I fell in love with my husband, everybody knew it. It was so obvious on my face. It was so obvious in my energy. My mojo was just pouring out in every aspect of my life, but it was definitely grounded in my love and my relationship that was building with my husband. Another time was when I found that perfect job, okay? Right now, for me, being a health coach at Mojo Wellness and Energy is perfect for me. And when I talk about it, people can see my passion. They can see my energy. They can see my mojo. And that's fantastic. So you may have something like that, or in the past, maybe you've had the perfect job. But a job also can hit on the other side of things. It can also give you your financial needs. It can take care of those things. You can start hitting goals that you need financial support to hit. Working the perfect job can hit different avenues for you and support your mojo and rock your mojo in those different ways. But again, different things that just feed your mojo, all right? So when you think of those times, hopefully that triggered an idea of at least one time when you used to rock your mojo. I want you to ask yourself another question. Were you always eating well during those times? And if the answer is no, then what drove your energy? I think back to when I fell in love with my husband. I'll be honest, we were going to the bars at least 3 nights a week. Many times we closed the bars down. And this was post-college too. And we would even hit fast food at 2 a.m. or sometimes eat at Village Inn. You know, we weren't eating well. I was drinking tons of caffeine. You know, I can't even imagine the foods that I was eating back then. But you know what was feeding my energy was that relationship. All right, that's what drove my energy. You know, being drunk on love, that type of thing was definitely what was driving my energy. Same thing with a perfect job. When it's a passion, when it's driving that queen energy, queen energy is an energy that we talk about in the Rock That Mojo program, and making sure that you're fulfilling that in balance with your princess energy and also your mother energy. But when you drive those, when you're feeding those energies, you rock your mojo, and it's more than food that's doing it. So let's say you've lost your mojo. What change has caused you to lose that energy? Think about that. Think about that for a moment. What change has caused you to lose that energy? We'll come back to that in a little bit. So what I want to talk to you about now is what we call the primary foods. And it is nothing about edible foods. It's not what you are eating. It's different avenues, different foods that drive you, that feed you. And so when you came to get this presentation, there was also a link for a worksheet. And so I'd like you to pull that worksheet out. It's called the Circle of Life, and we are going to use that here. So before we begin, I just want to go over a couple of things. So please don't start marking anything yet. But we're going to look at those primary foods that feed your mojo, okay? What these different avenues do is they they either feed your mojo or they can deplete it. Okay, we're going to look at the balance of them within your life. We're going to see what is supplying your wellness, what's supplying your energy, what is feeding you, and then maybe what is pulling away from you. So before we do that, we need to take a few steps. And the first step that I want you to do is I want you to get into a relaxed and open frame of mind. Okay? I know you may have a lot of to-do items on your mind, or you may have some distractions. I need you to turn all those distractions off. And so we'll do that if you'll turn off your phone, anything else. I want you to close your eyes, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And on the deep breaths, I want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Close your eyes and focus solely on your breathing. Okay, so go ahead and inhale in and exhale out. Breathe in again and out. One more time and exhale. See, that even calmed me down. Our next step that we're going to do is I want you to look at those primary foods that I've put in front of you. Okay? And as you'll see, there's just different areas within your life. And what is going to have to be very important for you to get the most value out of this is you have to determine what good looks like to you. Okay? So I need to give you an example. I'm going to give you the example of education. You know, you've had some former education. I don't know if you're currently educated right now, but you need to look at it as say, is that good for you? Am I happy? Am I satisfied with my current level of education? And if you are, you're going to mark to the outside of the circle. Okay? If you're not happy, you're going to mark to the inside of the circle. So you need to determine what good looks like to you. Okay? Now, what I want you to watch, you need to watch your thoughts. Okay? If you look at education and you think, I'm all right with education, and then your mind starts to do this, but you know, they always say you should continually learn, and I know that I should do more. If you start to hear yourself use those words like should, or they say, or something like that, you're looking at social expectations. You are not really reflecting on what is good for you. Okay? So you need to delete those thoughts. If you are satisfied with your education, that's all that's important. Okay? It's not what society says is most important. Okay? All right? You got to find what feeds you. All right? This is very important. So please make sure that you are being aware of those thoughts in your mind. Delete them from your mind and really look at what's important to you. So on this sheet, what you're going to do is you're going to be able to indicate your satisfaction and your dissatisfaction in each one of the primary foods. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is, I've got to get my little pin here, and what we're going to do is as you look at each one of these, and I'll do a few examples, we're going to look at creativity. Let's say your work really doesn't have much creativity to it. It's kind of the same in, day out, okay? And then you come home, it's a quick, boxed meal, you're feeding your family, you're going, you're taking them to their activities. Then there's all the things that you do at night, getting ready, getting the laundry done, getting kids to bed, looking at the schedule, trying to do something on Facebook at least to have some sort of social life, right? And if there's time, maybe you sit down and watch TV, maybe you don't. But if you look at creativity and you think, you know what? Gosh, I just used to love to draw. Or I really love scrapbooking. It's just so much fun. And when you think of creativity, there's nothing there. It really isn't there. What I want you to do is I want you to mark it close to the center. So you're going to mark it right here, all right? If it's really not feeding you and you're dissatisfied with it, if it feels way out of balance, mark it here, all right? And let's look at finances. Let's say you just recently got a promotion, all right? And, so you have some more income coming in, your husband's doing well with his work, all the bills are being covered, and in fact, you guys have extra money this year. You're going to go on a vacation, and in that aspect of your life, it's thriving. It's doing awesome. So you're going to mark here, okay? You're going to mark way out here, okay? And so continue and walk through the circle. You'll go through career, you'll go through education, and you're going to mark it up, all right? And then once you're done with all of these different primary foods within your life, we're going to do a little connect the dot, okay? So you may have things like this, you may be happy with everything here, then maybe this one might not be so good. You don't have good health right now. You seem to be sick a lot, or, go around and finish it, however it is. All right, voila. There's a little pretty picture here, okay? So go ahead and do that. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the presentation, but feel free, go through all of the different aspects and make sure that you're indicating where you are at, what is good for you, your dissatisfaction and your satisfaction level. So once you're done with that, you can see that those primary foods that are out of balance. Look at the ones that are closer to the middle. And I want you to think about what that creates in your life. When you think about those, how do you feel? What emotions does that bring to you? All right? Because when those primary foods are out of balance, it can create all sorts of things. One of the obvious ones is stress. Okay, the example of the financial one. If financial is low, okay, if you're having financial issues, it can lead to lots of stress. My husband and I actually had this issue for the last year. We purchased an acreage, loved the acreage, but it was a fixer-upper, and so we didn't sell our house prior to purchasing it. And for a year, we have owned 2 houses. And believe me, that has put some major financial strain on us. And the stress level of it has been pretty high at times. And so it really can suck the mojo out of you, can suck your energy out of you. So that's one of those things that can happen when your primary foods are out of balance. Another one is guilt. And I see this a lot with moms when it comes to home cooking. They're so busy. Everything is go, go, go. And when they come home, they're tired. They're just doggone tired. And so they just, they make a boxed meal, or they pick up takeout on the way home, or whatever it is. But the worst part is they feel guilt over it. They feel bad. They know they should be feeding their kids healthier, all right? And that's not necessarily, the case. You don't always have to feed your kids healthy. But again, they assume a lot of guilt onto that. And so when that primary food is out of balance, there's guilt associated with it. Other areas are depression, okay? If you have no avenues of joy in your life right now, it can lead to bouts of depression. Again, more ways that when we're out of balance, that we do not rock our mojo, that our energy levels are down. Worry. If there are things in your life, those primary foods that are out of balance, of course that can cause worry. Let's say you have a relationship issue right now, and that really bothers you, okay? It can just cause all sorts of worry. And here's another one, and I see this when people's creativity is not being tapped. Lots of times we'll become lethargic. If you don't have anything that really springs your creativity, where you're able to let that mojo just come out and rock, you just become lethargic. It's like there's nothing really to live for. It's just doing the day-to-day monotony. You can just become lethargic, right? So when we look at all of that, it can produce really big negative side effects. Because what happens is that intuitively, our body wants to rock its mojo. It wants to have energy, Okay, so when you have stress, you have guilt or depression or worry, or you're just getting into that lethargic, day-to-day, mundane season of life, how do you respond to those? Well, you try to feed your body in some way. And lots of times what happens is we start binge eating, or maybe you try to feed yourself. When I become stressed, I'll crave chocolate. You'll start binge eating on things because you're trying to fill that void. All right. Some people turn to drinking. Again, another thing that can build is from stress. Oh, I've had a stressful day. I need to have a couple beers to come down. All right. So drinking can be a way to deal with those things that are out of balance. Smoking. We all know people who smoke when they're worried or dealing with things. What if you have a lot of guilt? Many times you lose sleep over it. Here's another one, gaining weight. Maybe you're dieting, or maybe you've upped the exercise and you're still gaining weight, all right? Stress, worry, things like that, they can affect us so much internally that it can cause our hormones to get out of balance. And when our hormone systems get out of balance, you know what happens? We retain weight. Okay? Our hormones don't know how to deal with all of it, and so they get out of system. They don't ever get their down periods that they need. And so what they do to help feed their need to stay at these high levels within their hormones is they actually retain. Okay, they pull more food in. You start to gain weight. Inflammation. Stress, as you know, when you feel it, how many get the stress in their shoulders or up through their neck, or they'll get a tension headache? The reason why is that stress is actually a terrible toxin to our bodies. And what it does is it actually causes inflammation in those areas. That's why they become tight and tense. So you can add inflammation to your body. Again, you can have mood swings, when things are out of whack. Again, depression, is definitely a swing of mood to where you get into a low energy and down mood. Right? It can also affect illness. It can throw your immune system off. When these things are out of balance, it can create these things. So that's why we look at the circle of life. And now you have this tool of your circle of life where you can revisit it at any time. You can reassess because different things get out of balance and it can help you focus. So now that you've done the circle of life and you've seen, I'm sure there's more than one that's closer to the center. What I need you to do is I need you to just pick one, okay? One that your gut really tells you that you want to spend more time and energy to create that balance. I know there's going to be a tendency to want to do more than one, but just do one. The reason why is I want you to have success. We have so many things and we try to take on too much that we aren't successful at anything. So if we just pick one, we can be successful at it. So what I want you to do is I want you to write it down, okay? Writing it down is key. So the one area, the one primary food that you want to fix, and what in your mind it is that fixes it. I want you to have that in your mind. And this is how I want you to write it down. I want you to start the statement with, I love myself enough to. And then you're going to write what it is you're going to do. Okay? So let's say you want to get more movement into your life. Your exercise was one of the ones that you feel low on. And the reason why you feel low on it is because you actually enjoy exercise. So you say to yourself, I love myself enough to join that spinning class. Okay, maybe that's what it is. All right, I love myself enough to join that spinning class. All right, so your next step is you're going to decide on one action item that you can take by the end of today. All right, to start improving that balance. One action item, you're going to write that down. So for the example of, I'm going to join that spinning class, your next action item could be, I'm going to call the gym and find out when that spinning class is available. All right, that's the first action item. Once you get moving from where you are right now, here and today, the movement will continue. But you have to take that first step. So that's what you need to do. Decide on one action and get started. All right? And the next thing that I would love for you to do is share it with me by private message at my Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/MoJoWellness. I know many of you are already followers, but go there, click on the message, and shoot it to me. I would love to hear what it is that you've chosen to do, what you love yourself enough to do, and the action item that you are taking. If you need someone to hold you accountable, I'd love to do it. It's what I'm here for. It's what feeds my mojo, is to help you with that. So feel free to share it with me by private message. Before you go, I want to leave you with a couple things. I want you to know that I believe in you. I know that you can do this. I know that you can take this action item and you can do it today. And I know tomorrow another action item will follow. But I want to make sure that you believe in yourself. All right? So I am leaving you with this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. Believe in yourself. You gain strength, courage, and confidence. Some of the key things that you need for rocking your mojo. But anyway, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you stop to look fear in the face. You must do that which you think you cannot do. All right? Believe that you can do it. If you've tried before and it hasn't worked out, it's okay. You are where you are today, and I know you can do it. You're going to take a step today, and tomorrow the steps will follow. All right? And last but not least, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you don't have a lot of time, and I appreciate the fact that you are taking the time to work on you. You should feel good about that. Congratulate yourself, because you know what? That's amazing. And I know that you are amazing and that you want to show everybody just how amazing you are. That's why you came to Rock That Mojo program. You know it's in there and you want to find it again. And if you did like this presentation, if you like this type of teaching where you're given a bit of information, a bit of learning, and some actionable steps that you can actually implement into your life, then I really believe that you'll love the Rock That Mojo program. The Rock That Mojo program, the next one, it starts March 8th. It's just around the corner. And the program is a 5-week program, and it's the same type of thing over and over again. What we work on are small steps to get you rocking your mojo again. The first week we work on finding your mojo. We help you discover your energies, all right? What are your sources of your mother energy, your queen energy, and your princess energy? We help you define your purpose and your why, so you have so much focus for what it is that you want to accomplish. On week 2, we start working on moving your mojo. We find the exercise, the movement that speaks to you. And believe me, we're going to find different ways than what you think of as just the hour-long sweat haul, all right? We find different avenues, the ones that speak for you, all right? Week 3, it's awesome. We actually talk about real food, okay? We do talk about feeding your mojo, ways to sustain energy throughout the day by your food choices that you make, all right? And we'll help you have, again, small incremental steps that work for you. All right. On week 4, then we started talking about detoxifying and cleansing your mojo. All right. There are things that are blocking your mojo, and we've got to clean those things out, both internally and externally. So that is a fantastic week. Actually, one of my favorite weeks of the 5-week program. And then the final week is what we call sharing your mojo, where we work with relationships, your relationship issues, and how you can also share your mojo out amongst others. It's a chance for you to pay it forward. We want to see your mojo because that is where you got your life impact. You know, we've got one life to live. I want you to rock it because I know you're amazing. So thanks again for listening to the presentation. Good luck with you with your future action items that you're going to take today to help feed your primary foods. And don't forget to either check out the Rock That Mojo program, to private message me on Facebook so I can hear what it is that you're doing, because I want to know about you, because you are amazing. Again, I think you are amazing, and I know you know that you are amazing, and you are going to show them just how amazing you are. Have a great day and rock your mojo.